Hey, good morning, Beartooth Bears. It's been a while since you've seen me on a video, but I wanted to jump on here real quick and talk about our foundations. And so I want to talk about what this means. Hopefully you've seen, it's got a big ring circle on it, this image in your classroom, this poster, if you will, in your classroom somewhere. Take a second and find that poster. I want you to point to it. Turn sideways, find it in your classroom, and point to that poster so other kids can find that on the wall. This poster, to me, is probably one of the most important ones you have in your classroom. Now, your teachers might think a little different, especially some of you younger teachers that are teaching reading, because that's one of the most important things we do in kindergarten, first and second grade is to learn how to read. But listen, this one is really important to me because this speaks to the kind of person that you are. So we decided to come up with this. We changed the poster we've had in the past years, and we made this an acronym. An acronym is something that you use the first letters of, and it spells something down the side. So we have bears going down the side, and the first letter B just stands for we want you to be these other things. So the first one is to be engaged, and it talks about being a productive learner. So what does that mean? Well, I get kids sometimes that say, oh, school's boring. And some of you right now might be sitting in class going, what? How can they say school's boring? And I agree with you. I know school can be difficult because all of us have things that we're strong at and things that we're not so strong at. So I know school can be difficult sometimes, but I don't think that school is boring. And let me tell you why, because that's up to you. See, to be engaged means that you are participating. It means that you are actively doing something to engage. So if you're engaging in school, it's not going to be boring because you're involved. And I get so many kids that also, kind of like me, don't understand that idea when kids say school is boring, or honestly, when anything's boring. There are times when I choose to be bored. I was just telling Miss Natalie that this Saturday, I didn't do a whole lot at home on Saturday. I kind of sat and just relaxed. I did get a workout in. I did go out and do a couple things, but I just kind of relaxed, and I needed that break for my mind. So I wasn't bored. I was taking a break. I was helping myself calm down and kind of, not even calm down actually, I was already calm, but helping myself kind of re-energize a little bit by doing very little. Now, Sunday I did a lot, but again, I chose that. So it wasn't boring, it was nice, it was quiet, it was calm, it was peaceful, all those things. So being engaged is really important in school, and you choose that. You choose that by standing up and answering questions, participating, turning and looking at your friends as they're talking. That's engaging, tracking your speaker, whether that's your teacher or whether it's a classmate. Maybe you've got somebody else in there that's presenting, watching this video right now. How much you choose to pay attention and watch me and make eye contact, even though it's hard to make eye contact through a video. I know you're watching, and I hope you're listening and taking the information in and really thinking about what you can do better to be engaged in your classroom all day and every day. Even in a small group, listening to other kids, agreeing with them, or maybe even you have a disagreement and you can share that. The next one is to be resilient. This one, I skipped the A, is to be aware. And aware, we talk about being mindful of yourself first, and then of others, and then also of property. And that might be other people's property, but also just the property around you. So when you're aware, you're just thinking about things and you're paying attention to things. So it also goes to being engaged, because if you're not engaged in your environment, you're not going to be aware very well either. So one of the things you got to do to be aware outside is notice people's expressions. Do they seem like they might be frustrated? Then you need to help stop, explain things, back off a little bit. Do they feel like they're alone? Do they look like they're sad? And so how can you help with those kind of things? That's being aware. And then another piece of that is in the classroom. Being aware of the same things in your classroom and aware of yourself first. Are you engaged? Are you enjoying this? If not, get involved, get engaged, and you'll start liking things more. That's how it works. The other one that you need to be aware of when it talks about property is as you're going through this space of school. When you go into the restroom, are you picking up little bits of paper towels on the floor? When you're walking down the hall and you see trash, do you stop and pick that up? That also is being aware of property. Another thing you need to be aware of every day is your Chromebook or your iPad. Look, I'm even holding this almost with two hands, because this is in a frame to me and this is important. So I'm holding it carefully because I'm being aware that I don't want to drop this. I don't want to have it fall on the floor and break. And honestly, I really like this poster, so I want to keep it in good shape. That's being aware of property, right? Pencils, pens, are they getting put away? Are they getting sharpened the way they're supposed to? All those things. There's so many during the course of the day. The next one is to be resilient. Now, boys and girls, this one's a tough one because resiliency comes from learning that you can work through hard things. And that's what this one says, is to work through obstacles to be better than you were yesterday. To be better today than you were yesterday. And you learn that you can be resilient by working through hard things. There are some kids that get challenged and they just want to quit and give up. And you know, some adults do that too. It's not a good way to live your life. We want our bears in this school to know that you are resilient, that you can get through difficult things. We do it every day. Every day we get through hard things. And the more we do that, the easier it gets. And the more we realize, hey, I can get through this. I don't really always like to use this word, but I'm strong. And I'm not talking I'm strong with my muscles. I'm talking I'm strong up here and in here. I can get through these things. I believe in myself. So that's being resilient, is knowing you can work through those tough things. And the last one is being safe. And this safety piece fits along with all those other three. If you're being engaged, if you're being aware, and if you're being resilient, chances are you're going to be safe or keep people safe in that environment. So the safe piece is the final one. And we're going to be working on that this week, where we're going to do a couple of drills and things like that to work on just being safe in this space and what that means. And sometimes that's drills, like a fire drill, other things that we do in school. But safety isn't just that either. To make other people feel safe, they have to know that they're cared for. That's an awareness piece. They have to know that we are together in this. That's being engaged, right? And they have to know that they can work through tough things too. And we'll get through whatever challenges get thrown at us. We're resilient. So look for that poster. You guys can have more conversations in your classroom, but this one to me is a really, really important one that we want you guys to be focusing on every day at school, all the time. And honestly, outside of school, it's the same thing. If you go to a practice or a recital or a performance, whatever, you should be engaged in that. And the whole time you're there, you should be aware of what's going on around you and who's there and what's happening on stage and trying to fit all that together. And of course, resiliency, that happens sometimes when we least expect it, when we get challenged and we have to work through something difficult. And then, of course, keeping yourself and others safe. Huge things we do every day, not just in school, but also outside of school. Hey, you guys have an awesome week this week. It is Monday. It's a great day to be back at school. The weather is going to be beautiful outside. So I hope you get a chance to enjoy that, not just here at school, but also at home out in your neighborhood, and get out on your bikes maybe, get out and play outside, do some things with some friends. Have an awesome day today. We'll see you later.